Hello, everyone, and thank you for this landmark session where finance, innovation, and future of economics converge. Today's our honorable guest, Professor Dr. Mohammed Naveez, is here. He is the financial expert, academic, and accreditation advisor, and professor of finance, and he who has also served as the dean of management sciences in Pakistan. His remarkable contribution include developing dynamic financial models for the banking sector, creating corporate governance frameworks, and shaping knowledge economic strategies for universities and research institutions, including his leadership at the Higher Education Commission. So he also invited to deliver keynote talks at world-renowned institutions like Oxford, Cambridge, and Stanford, Melbourne, and Silicon Valley. Dr. Navee's work bridges academia, industry, and sustainable innovation. So today he will share his thoughts, and we have the honor. So please join us to warm welcome our professor, Dr. Naveed Akhtar, sir. We are privileged to have you in this session and with us. To begin, how would you define the impact-driven knowledge economy in today's world, please?
Dr. Thank you so much for having my voice of expression on this international platform. I think what you said about me, I wouldn't accept. It's a learning perspective. We have to go long ahead. Definitely, realization, I think it's the right word. We are living in the new age. The global perspective of the economies that is entirely having some new dial-ups. From this perspective, generally, the idea was that how we have to bring impact towards the knowledge economy. Knowledge economy, definitely, when we look around what's happening across the world, we look into the universities, they have a different accreditation processes are there. Then we see end of the day how the universities, they're closing their impact realization is important. But with the realization of the time, in particular when we see the developing economies, in particular I'm stationed with Pakistan, I think we are not navigating the impact. So end of the day, how you call a university, it's a higher education institution, it's a landscape of knowledge. But for me, how this university, higher education institution, it's contributing towards the social, economic, and financial development of the economy. So it is the buzzword. It comes my demonstration of knowledge. I think we are not demonstrating the knowledge that is acclimatized with the new age. It's the generation we call it's a beta generation today. My son, he used to call me, "Hey, Baba, you belong to the age of the dinosaur." I think this is the huge gap. It gives me the voice of significance that I'm doing something wrong. So the idea was we have to speak today about the impact knowledge economies, what impact we are adding towards the job creation, how we are contributing towards the social economic development of the economies. So this navigation is more important.
Very nice, sir. How would you describe the shift from a traditional economy to an impact-driven knowledge economy?
Two orientations are there. One is you have the academic eye. If I put myself being the stakeholder of a university in capacity as a professor, I have a research eye. I have the academic discourse is there, definitely having its own significance towards the body of knowledge. But when we see the impact, so then I have to revisit myself, my research, my academic, the portfolio of the academic programs that we are offering, are they are going to have acclimatization with the needs of the industry. So I think here it comes the impact. We are not realizing the impact, I would say. For instance, we are offering MBA programs. I should have the validation from the industry, how I'm closing the loop of this MBA programs, the placement of my students, and what is the acceptance that we have from the employability perspective. So this potential we are lacking. So we have to bring articulation. When I use the word articulation means my skill set, my competencies, the demonstration of the knowledge that is acclimatized with the need of the industry today. I think here we are lacking. We are not closing the loop of our research. We are not closing the loop of our academic discourse that is adding economic value. So this economic value is not associated with my knowledge. Knowledge is transferable. If I speak high about end of the day, the traditional programs that we have taken over my brought up, I could find I was speaking high about my grades, my transcripts, this portfolio I have on paper. But end of the day, where is my acumen? My acumen could be how, as a policy voice, how, as the economist, how I can contribute towards the improvement of the decision making, how I can add value towards the business ideas creation. So I think this is more driven. We remain traditionally very much focused on the development of the aura of the knowledge, but we remain very silent. How this knowledge that is being driven in the acumen of the human persona. So that persona development was lacking. So end of the day, I couldn't see what is the navigation of my banking industry. I couldn't see what is the navigation of my economy. So universities, they are basically the center of gravity. They bring research cultivation, they bring the cultivation of the skills, they give the education that is very closely aligned with the needs of the industry. So I think demonstration is lacking in terms of the skill competencies, in terms of the development of the acumen, and the development of the persona that could have some application. So lab is not a learning lab. Research is not applied. So this perspective, I think we haven't well taken. We remain very much focused towards the, okay, what's the time higher education ranking that we have for the institution, number of the impact, number of the research publications we have, number of the students body that we have. I couldn't find a single institution even in Pakistan that is not entirely based on a tuition fee. I think when we are running the institution with the financial eye, it's a tuition fee. I think we are lacking a consultancy. We are lacking a professor of practice. We are lacking. That is a training. That is the development side of the faculty. So I think we have to bring some diversification. So this diversification is definitely moving from the old age. I use the word old age since I'm living in the new age. It's the age of resignation. If I am still coming with the very heavy thoughts that I am not going to have the impact towards the industry.
Very nice. So, Professor, one thing, for example, you mentioned about what roles does the R&D play in sustaining national economies and private sectors alike?
I think R&D research is associated with the development. Definitely, we have become a scientific eye. We produce number of PhDs. We are coming with the research-based programs, but research is not translating in the development. Since research is not traveling from the window of a lab, from the window of a professor and student to the industry, research lacking its application. So this R&D development side, this is more important. Now, what we can do actually, we are not having the understanding about the capstones. Capstones means you have to associate research projects of yours starting from your undergrad towards the PhD programs. These programs, they should have the collaboration with the industry. So you have to bring the application of the research. So this research application is lacking. We still doing our research. We are exploring the new avenues of the research. We are going with the innovation. We call it your citation index, your H index, number of the impact factor that we have. All the things they are associate. They have the association in silos. If I keep working in silos, I wouldn't have a collaboration with the industry. My research is not traveling to the industry. Even my research should not taking the part as the working paper, not a policy paper. So tell me then how we can help, how I can resolve the business problems of the industry. Case studies are important over the period of time, but the world has taken another perspective. The perspective is we have to develop business solution research centers. So this is one of the, I would say, the new glimpse that the world has taken. They are using their research as the outlook that is toward the resolve. For instance, Pakistan right now, a day before I was a part of some the capital markets platform in Pakistan. I have only one thought. A number of participants of Pakistan Stock Exchange, they are just 350,000. Who is responsible for that? We are running the population that's about, you have a better idea, it's about 20 to 50 million. It's on the high side, a huge populist generation that we have. Number of participants of capital markets are just 350,000. We are not going by design thinking. So the research, when it travel to the industry, it gives you design thinking. It changes the sense of the student from a job seeking toward job creation. It brings their potential that is more capitalized. So I think this navigation we have to bring by design. I couldn't see a single program that is being offered in Pakistan by the universities. It's with the design thinking. Why you're offering a PhD in project management? Why you're offering the PhD in the marketing and finance? We are lacking the design thinking. The outcome, how this outcome is going to help Pakistan capital markets, how I can bring the reforms in the financial system, how I can bring the financial innovations in the central banks, in the banking industry of Pakistan. So this navigation is lacking, I would say. So I use the word, we are doing research in silos, but this research is not traveling to the industry by design.
Very nice. And Professor, you mentioned about the lack in universities. So how can universities and industries better align to drive innovation and that leads directly to employment and sustainability?
Definitely, your point is very pertinent. It's a need of the hour, I would say. I think the three words are changed today. Uh, I wouldn't use the word orientation. I use the word reorientation. Imagination is not the suitable word, it's a reimagination. It's not articulation, it's a rearticulation. Since you have to bring your potential as a custodian, a university is a custodian of the potential of a student. If I see number of students we have graduated, I see their pulse, everyone is a job seeker. Now we have to change the orientation. Why you have to bring the orientation of a job seeking? Three initiatives quickly, they are more important towards the change of the orientation of the faculty and the students from job seeking towards job creation. Okay, the first point, it's the need of the hour that you have to develop sandbox. We don't have a sandbox. It's a permanent feature. It's a permanent feature in the university. Develop sandbox where you have to pitch the potential of your students, bring expert eye from the industry, whether the industry would join you as a professor of practice, whether you have the industrial colloquiums, industrial symposiums, you start mock trading. Pakistan lacking mock trading. If stock exchange they have a mock trading in the universities, they would better teach how you have to make investment in the mutual funds, how you have to make investments in the green finance equities, how you have to start your new the business startups. So we are lacking visualization. So this visualization is more important than the education. If somebody is more visualized what's happening in the reality in the real world, so your lab should be translated in the learning labs. Universities they start acting as a mock trading, and your sandbox it would be the baseline where you can see the potential of a student is lacking seed money, student don't have definitely the venture capital to finance the new business idea. So now we have to develop this sandbox, this ecosystem. It would change the sense of the students and faculty from a job seeking towards job creation. If I can speak something about a Silicon Valley, Silicon Valley has become one of the biggest hub of venture capital. Every country eyeing to have the membership of the Silicon Valley. Silicon Valley, if you recall, it is one of the initiative of the Stanford University. Stanford University was established with one manifesto. Their manifesto was that we have to provide free education to our communities. With the passage of time, when we have more number of expansion of their faculty, their programs, number of more students are on board, then they realize now we are facing a financial stress. How we have to resolve these financial difficulties? So they have taken by design a model. The model is Silicon Valley. They have taken industry on board. They have long-term leasing agreements with the industry. So later on, they have this realization that now it has changed the sense of our students from job seeking towards job creation. Your research is applied now, since now the industry on board as well. Your research is traveling to the industry. Your projects are naturally translated into the capstones. Then placement of the job was one aspect, but it has changed the sense of the student from job seeking towards job creation. Now the Silicon Valley, it has become a hub of venture capital, one third venture capital of the global economy that exists at one planet. The name of that planet is, that is a Silicon Valley. It's an initiative of the a university. Now, what we see, the same case, we can bring this turnaround in Pakistan as well, in other economies as well. I wouldn't go by name, but you have a better idea. Universities, they have a big landscape in Pakistan. But why we are shy? Why we are not bringing a professor of practice on board? Why we are not bringing a public-private partnership? Why we are not bringing long-term lease agreements? We bring industry banks on campus. So it give a visualization. It would change the nature of the education system. It would become more like your engine of economic and social development. Everything is associated with the governance. So I put more responsibility on the regulator. It comes the Higher Education Commission. It comes the ministries of Pakistan. You have to bring some young perspective, young minds in the leadership of the higher education institution. It's a vice chancellor, it's a rector, it's the chairman, it's the executive director. If you are going to bring the fresh perspective, strategic apex with the young eye, young eye means with a new perspective. So then you can acclimatize the needs. I think we are lacking here. We have on the one side scientific eye, it's more academically driven, not have a pain how the research, how the education have its value. For me, education have economic value, but economic value is not associated. So we have to drive your economy, that is with the skills, with the competency, with the action oriented research. And it's only possible when we have a design thinking, means your academic governance, which is bringing some innovations and flexibility.
Very nice.
I
Well
hope
said.
I hope I'm justifying.
Yeah, yeah, very nice, very nice. Mock trading and the Silicon Valley model examples and job creation. So, other than Silicon Valley, Professor, what are some real world examples, other examples where knowledge driven innovation has directly translated into new jobs and industries? Is there any other example as well?
Uh, in particular, universities, they started some incubation centers. It's a good idea. Definitely, it's not the new idea in Pakistan. When I was with our Education Commission back in 2006 to 2011, at that time we floated this idea that the universities, they start their business incubation centers, technology incubation center, technology parks as well. But when I see the initiative is well taken, but how we are closing the loop, I think we have to bring this model that is not having the impression, it's very specific only for few universities. I have to see the more number of startups, more number of global startups, more number of the business ideas, more number of the business startups. So I think we are not going to we are not going to bring the inclusiveness. The idea is there. Universities, for instance, NURST is market driven. Barry University, I speak high. We have some global startups as well. But when holistically, I want to see how many number of business incubation centers we have. I think they are peanut. We have to become this approach very inclusively. Start business incubation centers not only in the university level, business incubation, technology incubation center, financial plexus, business plexus. It should be the part and parcel of your community center. We are not integrating a universities through the community driven approach. For instance, Australia, I would speak high. Australia, they started tax clinics, sustainability clinics, business clinics, financial literacy clinics in the community. Universities, they intersect through the community. I think this approach that we have to bring at the bigger perspective with the integration of a society. So it would bring more inclusiveness, more diversity, and end of the day, when we can teach our parents, definitely I think it's a stage where we are more flexible, we are not more hardliner. Otherwise, if we are not bringing our these business incubations, these technology parks, not keeping in loop your business community and your the households, I would say, your community, so then impact would cannot be cultivated broadly.
Very nice, very nice. And integration of society is compulsory. But, Professor, how should young graduates and entrepreneurs position themselves to succeed in this new economy?
I think it's a pain line. It's a pain line. Starting point, once again, it's orientation. The biggest advantage the young scholars, young entrepreneurs they have, they live in the new age. They have the access. They have the access not only to the knowledge, but also they have the access to the opportunities as well. Opportunities for the young scholars. I'm not going to give the voice of some demotivation. I try to put myself being more optimistic on this point. Young entrepreneurs, young scholars, when they step in the industry, they have some business idea. So challenges are there definitely. The financial is one of the biggest challenge for them. But for me, your capacity always comes across opportunities. Opportunity only becomes your opportunity when you have a capacity for that. Most of the times, I could find the business startups at the universities level. We have the business startups in the few the territories of Islamabad also. I think it's a bit premature. You have to bring more R&D, more research in the industry. Once you are going to develop a business model which is coming with the its pertinence with the industry. So I think the graduation time of the business idea and pitching that business idea to the industry, I think it's very haphazard, I would say. Just bringing the new idea and we are putting efforts at how we have to implement. I think we have to invest more time. So here I put more responsibility on the shoulders of the business incubations, your startups, your sandbox. You need to have some advisory. Advisory is important. Access to venture capital, access to seed money, means financial support for the new businesses. I think it is a challenging task, I would say. So with the expert eye, with the mentoring, with the some input from the Higher Education Commission as well, since we have a proper guidelines for the new business incubatees. So this graduation time, I think it would come with the understanding of business maturity. So success stories definitely would be there. Silicon Valley, every day we have so many new businesses we start, but at the same time there are so many failures as well. So this is the one perspective. The second perspective, the student eye. Student eye, I think you have to bring a question in your mind. So this is, I would say, what we are lacking. A student is not coming with the inquiry. When the student is sitting with a blank eyes, student coming with the assurance of learning, that is unidirectional. I think it's not going to add impact. We expect from the student, you belong to the new age, bring the new practices, have a discussion in mind, and give a question mark on the education system, give a question mark on a professor. Even when I put myself in the shoes as a professor, I said, it's not a combination of a professor and student, it's a combination of a learner. So learning perspective is important, but end of the day, what I said in the beginning, you have to collect the skill set. If you want to become a CFO, a chief financial officer of a company, so you should have a clarity, what are the skills, competencies for effective CFO in today's age. So now you expect you have to bring your education system, your university's custodian, that you have to develop these skill set, these competencies, these personas once you graduate.
Very nice, nice, Professor, for these skill sets and also for the business startups. And you also, Professor, have developed dynamic financial models. How can financial innovation contribute to sustainable economic growth?
Sustainability, one of the global agenda in the entire world, I would say, one of the perspective. If I see the first aspect, you said the dynamic financial model. The word dynamic means we have to educate our industry, our banks, our manufacturing and service industry also. When you're developing your investment financial models, don't make a static models. Static models are those your decisions basically. They don't have a capacity to absorb change. Like economic, social, financial shocks are there. What's happening right now across the world? It's the economic romance, for instance, is happening between America and the rest of the world. So even few risks are systemic, few risks are standalone, few risks are there coming from the market. You cannot avoid every risk. So the dynamic model basically means you have to develop a flexible business model. This flexible business model should have some innovation capacity. It can absorb some shocks. For instance, all suddenly, if monetary policy is not working for you, if we have some diplomatic distortion with your neighbor country that was your business partner as well. So from that perspective, your flexible business model would help you to absorb these shocks. So we have developed financial models, dynamic financial model for the banking industry of Pakistan. Okay, now how these dynamic financial models, they you have to bring association with the sustainability. For me, the word sustainability, we have to educate our industry that we are not an institution with a financial motivation. We have to bring a justice of social justice as well. It's not your world, it's not our world, it's not my world, it's our world. We have to bring eco consciousness. We have to bring, I think there is a distortion on my part, so I would bring a pause for a while. No, it's fine.
Yes, Nancy, yes.
I'm sitting in the office. It's some buzz was there.
No
Okay,
problem.
coming to the point of sustainability, I think we have to develop eco-conscious behavior among the industries about among the economic and financial users. So sustainability means you have to protect the environment. Uh, what we are experiencing right now, the entire world speaking high about SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, principle of responsible investment, principle of impact investment. So for me, it's more like it's a governance issue. In case of Pakistan, still we are lacking a taxonomy. I don't have a governance taxonomy on sustainability. You have to bring carbon pricing models. If a company, individuals, household, they are irresponsible towards nature, they are irresponsible towards environment. So you have to bring punitive actions legally, and you have to bring some carbon pricing as well. You can collect this revenue. This revenue could be used for the promotion of R&D, the integration of AI, where we can bring the economic value. Air quality index of Pakistan is compromised. Pakistan recently have experiencing even the federal city, Islamabad, this thunderstorm. They are basically the climate means the nature is coming back very strongly. So since if we are not going to have the integration of sustainability, so then definitely it would be the adverse impact that we can further add on the livelihood of the people. So the idea was basically we have to bring some sustainability governance, the code of corporate governance that we have already, but we need to have a code of sustainability governance where we have to better educate our industry, our common man, our economic users, that you have to promote all those projects, all those expansion, all those business ideas. They are impact driven. Impact driven means they are more friendly with the nature. So the concept is not only coming with the surface of the land. The concept is also going with the blue economy as well. So your blue economy, that definitely we have to protect the livelihood underwater as well. Every year, huge amount of tons of plastic that is being produced, for instance, in the entire world. Where it ends up? It ends up in the lakes, in the rivers, in the seas. And who is paying the cost? Livelihood above the surface of water and livelihood under the water. So it's a gray economy, it's a blue economy, it's a green economy. So you have to make your economy as a circular economy. So circular economy, definitely we have to close the loop of everything with the realization what a positive impact that we are adding. Financial literacy, for instance, the new word is sustainable financial literacy. Your economic user investor should be very clear where I'm putting my investment, whether that project is harmful for the nature, whether that project is more friendly, is more eco-conscious. So this sustainability watch is your governance matter. So you have to bring, even we are speaking high here in the SECP side of Pakistan Securities Exchange Commission. Please bring some code of corporate governance that is more watched on the sustainability reporting of the companies. So otherwise, definitely we claim today Pakistan is the agri land, but reality we have to accept Pakistan is no more agri land. Our dependency that is more on the neighbor countries in terms of the commodities as well. So it's giving a very clear sign that your financial motivation on the part of the real estate, financial motivation on the part of the corporate eye, that has compromised the significance of the sustainability. So I think we have to clap with 5 fingers. So only then we can realize the impact of the green climate, biodiversity financing.
Very nice, Professor. About this, you mentioned about this sustainability. What industries or sectors do you foresee booming as a result of knowledge-based innovation?
Industry, I think the buzzword we have to bring more towards when we say the knowledge economy, 3 areas of development. One is the world is moving more towards the integration of AI. So I would put more articulation on the part of the financial industry. Since the COVID aftermath, it has entirely changed the banking pattern, the financial industry's pattern. They are more contactless today. Whether it's a smart banking, whether it's the adaptation of the fintech. I think this is one of the area. It's directly associates with the financial system of the country. Second, definitely this impact-based knowledge economy. It's not only going to help a single industry; it would have impact on every industry. For instance, tourism. Of impact knowledge economy, it could bring a second dividend to Pakistan as well. Pakistan is definitely by nature, it's a very organic, beautiful landscape. The earlier planet that we earlier heaven, I would say that we have on this planet of the world. But Pakistan, by design, we are lacking tourism, so we can optimize the tourism. We can go by the design thinking with the integration of AI, with the skill base, with the specialization program in the tourism. What we can see the this industry, it could become another source of the biggest source of revenue for my economy as well. Reciprocal taxes that we receive from the USA, although it's have a direct impact on one of the textile industry of Pakistan, and definitely it's the panic stage on the part of the local manufacturers in Pakistan. But if we are not going to build a new capacity, if we are not going to integrate AI, we are not going to have the new normal, so then definitely it would have more adverse impact. So lesson learned is very clear. Your knowledge economy, universities, school, colleges, they are your integrated segments of the life. They would give you the potential skills and competencies, which is going to help you not only towards the development of the social economic engine of Pakistan, but also by design. For instance, I couldn't see a drive of the bankers, future bankers of Pakistan. I never have this word from the planet of Pakistan. Universities, they're offering programs in accounting and finance, but I never have this navigation. So you have to go by design thinking. So this design thinking definitely have the acclimatization of the skill competencies that you can acclimatize towards a development. It's a very design thinking, I would say.
Very nice. And Professor, before ending this session, what advice would you give to policy makers who are trying to build the research R&D frameworks, and also to the graduates who want to pursue this field as well? So overall advice before ending this session, please. And any comments from your side, please.
Thank you so much. You remained very humble and very insightful. I think accept the reality. Advise. I use the word. It's a heavy word, bluff. As a regulators, as the education institutions, as the custodian of the institutions, even I put myself wholly responsible as a professor. Stop bluffing the system. We are bluffing the system. We are not. We are telling them half reality. Give a complete reality to the people. So this realization is more important. And the voice of the voice, landscape of the world has changed. We have to bring a turnaround in the social, economic, and financial development. Turnaround always comes with a change of habits. We have to change our habits. Otherwise, change is constant. Who cares? But if the change would take over you, you would have to pay the biggest cost. We have to be more wise. We have to change our habits. We have to integrate the new normal. We have to bring sustainability practice. We have to give more space to the young perspective. It's a beta generation. Beta generation means interface has changed. So we have to start thinking from the perspective of the new generation. It's a new age. So this new perspective, it's more coming with the dial-ups, not the dial-ups that we have, the existing education system or that's going to be obsolete. We have to develop the education system that is with the demonstration of the skill set, demonstration of the competencies. At the universities, they would more like a sandbox where we can give a potential for experiment. The students, they could be the acumen for the industry. They have a good acumen for the business development. They could be the scientific eye. So I think this laissez-faire model that just need a good governance, but we cannot control the minds of the people. So since the new normal means your reforms has already been taken place, whether it's a social media, whether you want to see how the industrial fourth revolution is translated into the fifth revolution. So you just have to accept reality, give space and pace to the youngsters. So it's a very humble submission, I would say.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Professor, for this insightful advices and discussion. And really, thanks to have your time here. And thank you very much again. And have a nice time.
God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so much.